Hello everyone, it's Yuki here and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play survival series. It's been a really long time since my last episode and it's been a lot going on, both in real life and in game. I've been pretty much moving houses and I'm finally set up now. It's still not fully set up. I still want to do a bit of work around like the whole PC area and the desk and all these kind of things. But it is functional now and I can finally record. And I've been missing this. I really wanted to get an episode out, but I just didn't get the time to record or edit or anything like that. But now I'm finally back. I'm hoping to be back on the schedule. Maybe some of you actually found me streaming. I stream both here on YouTube. I stream on Twitch as well at the same time. So if you guys want to see the live progress that I've made around here so far, you can go check out my replays. I have the VODs over on the channel. I've basically been doing a lot of work around here. I think last time we kind of finished off with these being like half done. And since then I've been doing a lot. So I'm gonna walk you through a few things. Like I said, most of it's on a live stream in case you're wondering. This is going to be like a quick rundown just to kind of know what I've been actually doing. So I added all these villagers over here. I added the bees inside. So this is like the carrot farm, the potato farm. The other one is the carrot farm and this is the beets farm. I realized that the beetroot is actually way too fast with the bees, so I removed the beehives because it was producing way too much. I didn't expect that it's gonna be so fast. As you can see there, like there's a lot of beetroot just waiting on the floor. I will show you what's down below in a second. So I basically added a lot of bees around here, the villagers, the crops. I did discover a big flaw with the potato and the carrots, and the flaw is that the villagers are picking them up, but they are actually trying to breed while they are picking up the crops, and instead of them getting their inventories full, the crops get used by their breeding. So even though the breeding fails, if you didn't know, the villagers are still going to use the crops that they attempted to breed with. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to do a really big modifications for these farms to work. It's kind of an easy fix, but it might be taxing because it's going to involve a lot of hoppers. So I'm gonna have to see exactly how that's gonna work out. So to tell you what I mean, oh, apparently I have a hole over here. Okay. I guess I will just drop down here to make it easier. There's the firework. So this is what I've been working on, basically. It's a really long rail that goes from over here where the wheat farm is, and then it runs underneath the other 3 farms. Like you see, the minecart just keeps going around, so it's kind of full now. And that's what I was saying about the beetroot. It's producing way too much. So I'm kind of considering to, I don't even know what to do to be completely honest. Maybe to just remove one of the villagers from there. So it's only one of them. And that's actually something that I might consider doing for the carrot and the potato farm. I didn't think about this actually. I could just separate them so they can't see each other. They won't attempt to breed. So that means that the crops will just kind of stay on the ground, so I won't have to use that many hoppers. Oh, here we go. Recording brain kicking off here. And then over here, it's my huge storage system. So this storage system, I'm only going to be use it for items that are around this storage system. So obviously the farms above, but also the items that I'm gonna be able to get from the villagers over here. So there's not a lot of items that I can get from the villagers. So what I did here, because I kind of want to track this, I was attempting to do something else, but then poisonous potatoes don't actually go into composters. So I wasn't able to use this. So I made a filter over here for poisonous potatoes. And then during the season, or during the Let's Play, let's not call it a season because this is going to be a Let's Play, I'm gonna accumulate all these poisonous potatoes, right? And I want to see how many are we going to get based on the day that we're at. So right now we are at day... Where can I see the day? I am blind. Current days played 854. So let's say, for example, how many poisonous potatoes are we gonna get by day 1000? So leave your guesses down into the comments. I'm gonna try to remember at day 1000 to recheck this. And yeah, basically I have 3 wheat filters, 2 potato filters, 2 carrots, 2 beetroots, the golden carrots that I'm getting from the villagers, and then the emeralds. I have 2 for emeralds. I'm expecting to have a lot, to be honest. I do want to add maybe a pumpkin and melon farm really close by and pour those straight into this system. I know I have one at the mountain, but that's a bit out of render distance and is not going to work. So by adding it into this one, like that, I'm gonna have all the materials that I need to trade with the villagers, and then I can just throw everything in. And basically, to show you how this looks like, in case you're wondering how exactly do I get the items from all the way up here down into the storage system, I have basically this water stream over here. So I'm gonna throw a few items in here. Then I'm gonna go into free cam, and as you can see, the carrots just slide down, go into here, and then they go into these hoppers down the chest, and then they go through the whole filter over here. And then at the end over here, because we're producing so much beetroot and seeds, basically the beetroot seeds can be composted. So all those go into here, and then I have a bone meal chest over here. Once the crafter comes online, I can probably, you know, get a crafter, craft bone blocks and modify this slightly, but for the moment with the update that we're in, this is gonna have to work. Oh yeah, and to show you what I actually gathered so far, I have about 2 rows of wheat. I think all the other ones are empty. There's a few potatoes in here, a few carrots. I think the carrots and potatoes, honestly, I just got lucky when the minecart ran underneath the farms, and it just happened that it works now. So I don't think it actually had any carrots or potatoes like sitting there just waiting for the minecart. It was just like a lucky pickup. And then a lot of beetroot, a good few golden carrots. I've been doing a bit of trading, some emeralds over here, and then the rest is just going to be empty. I'm also going to need an entrance and an exit out of this place. Right now I'm kind of walking around in between all these, and then going up here, trying to open this. It's nighttime. I don't know exactly what's going to wait for me. Is it going to be a creeper? So I'm going to have to make a proper up and down from and into that place. And yeah, this is what I've been working on. Like, I know it maybe doesn't look like a lot, but I've been working a lot off camera and on stream to actually finish this and make it happen. I will have to fix these farms. So let me actually double check this, try to split these villagers, see if this is going to work. And then if it is, we're gonna have a functional farm. All right, so I added a line of glass panes over there. I wanted to put fence posts first, but because they're like slightly bigger than 1 block, the bees kept getting stuck. So I added that. The farmer seems to be working. I just need to wait probably another day or 2 for them to get their inventories full. And then after that, I can actually test if this is going to work. I'm probably going to increase the bees a bit, in case they're gonna harvest the crops much faster than they can grow. And the next step is going to be pretty much working on this. So I want to cover the whole ceiling over here. It kind of looks nice, but it kind of doesn't. So I want to cover this just to kind of look in close so you can't see anything that's up there. So I'm just gonna put a layer of blocks underneath that. I'm gonna try to make some kind of ceiling design. And then the design of the room, I want it to be like a going downhill kind of way. I don't know why, I just like the idea of it. So there's like 1 layer, 2 layers, and then the third layer will be over here. So I mined it for nothing, so I'm just gonna put that back. I don't know exactly what kind of material I want to use, but I think I'm going to use like full stone. Maybe some cracked stone and then some stone bricks. Probably mostly stone bricks, to be honest. I want this to look really industrial underneath. So it's kind of the, you know, the factory underneath the village above. Everything's nice and dandy up there, but here we're working away. So that's kind of the plan for this. So I'm gonna replace the whole floor over here, all the walls, all the ceiling. I don't really have a design in mind, but I'm gonna play with a few variations, see if I can come up with something. Probably gonna show you guys a bit of the progress. I don't want to just say, oh, this is the room and then this is the room complete. It's not gonna, you know, look too nice on video. I kind of want to share a bit more with you to kind of work on this together rather than just working on it and showing at the end what I've built. I want you guys to get involved in this whole process of the Let's Play. So if you do guys have any suggestions, of course feel free to drop them down into the comments. And I'm definitely going to have a look on everything that you guys put in there. And yeah, I have a lot of materials that I can use in this build. So first of all, I'm going to try to come up with a ceiling design. I might use you know, some kind of stairs or something around the corners to make it look like it's kind of round, but not really. Gonna have to see, maybe I'll push the wall back or I'll pull it forward. I don't really know. So let's see what kind of blocks do I have. Obviously, I'm gonna reuse all the blocks that I mined from here. Like I said, we're gonna try to stay and be green, basically. Anything that I mine, I will be reusing. I'm not gonna waste anything. Every single block that I mine, I pick up, I'll put it in a chest. Some people might call it hoarding. I just call it being environmental. So I'm definitely going to try to preserve as much as I can, reuse all the blocks that I can, and then yeah, pretty much work from there. So first step, figure out the ceiling design, see how this is going to look like. I'm kind of thinking if I want to cover this or if I just want to leave it like this. And maybe I'm kind of considering to just close it off here, put a border around it, but still be able to see these chests. So I'm gonna close it off somewhere around that area, so you can't see the top, but you'll be able to see the 3 layers of chests. I think that would be pretty handy, and I can actually grab from like any chest then, would make it much easier. So yeah, let's come up with some blocks. Let's transfer a few blocks down here and then start working on this thing. Alright, so I've been playing with some ideas that involve stone, since this is the thing that I have the most from digging this out. And I was thinking to add a bit of color. And I was actually thinking about copper. I saw that. And I feel like that green, like the oxidized copper, would look really, really nice in here. I tried it originally with these smooth stone slabs, but I feel like they're too bright and the texture doesn't match. So I tried the stone brick slabs in the end. I think once this gets oxidized, it's going to look really, really nice. The idea is that I want to make some kind of a, you know, arrow that the second you enter into here, it kind of draws your attention over to the storage system. That's kind of the idea that I have. So I think I'm going to replace all these smooth stone slabs with the stone bricks. And I'm probably going to use the smooth stone on the walls and the ceiling to kind of make some kind of arches or something like that. I think maybe I can make that work. I'm not sure yet. So I do need to smelt a lot of this copper. Luckily, I don't have to smelt so many stone slabs because I can just craft the bricks just by hand, which is a really handy thing to do. And yeah, I'm gonna put down this floor, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back to show you how this looks like. And if you guys can think of something else, please do let me know. In my head, this looks really, really nice once the copper is oxidized. So hopefully it's not going to be ages until I'm gonna be able to see it. But by the time I finish placing all the stone bricks, I think some of it at least will oxidize. So I'm gonna kind of get a feel of how it's going to look like. So yeah, I'm really excited to make this now. And we have a pretty huge room to work with here, so I'll have to see if I want to figure out something else inside, or maybe I'm gonna expand the storage like on that wall. I don't know yet. So for the moment it's just gonna be like a blank canvas, a blank space, and I'm gonna work through once I get a few more things done around here. And also, not to mention the sound of walking on copper, even though there's a good few noises, I hope you guys can hear it. It's really cool. So I think when I'm gonna count down in here and I'm gonna walk on stone and then on copper and then back on stone and all that is gonna give a really nice acoustic and not just visual. So I got a bit of an update here. I managed to finish almost the whole room. I ran out of copper. These copper slabs are so expensive. So I'm gonna have to find a bit more copper to actually make this work, and I think further down the line I'm gonna have to make a drowned farm just to get me some copper. I'm sure I'm gonna be building with it a bit more, and it's definitely not gonna be a good plan to mine it, so a farm is gonna be absolutely necessary. To kind of give you an understanding, so far the only two pieces that are oxidized are this one over here and this one right here, so it was really random because I placed these ones first. Not a single one has been done, and these over here, this one here for example, I literally placed like what, maybe 5 minutes ago, and it oxidized. I guess the more they do, the faster it's gonna be for the whole room, but I really like the aesthetic. I think it's lacking a bit of depth, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to include a bit more depth into here. Don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. For example, I really like how this looks, but it would be annoying to keep walking like this, right? I know that if I would walk on a corner I can probably skip it, but if I were to walk like this, I'm always going to be dropping in the hole and it's not going to be fun to walk through. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to include this. And also I'm going to have to add some kind of lighting from the ceiling because these torches look really ugly over here. But I like the room, how it's coming along now. The really big update is after I added that glass for the carrot and potato farm, both of the farms are actually producing. And I had to add a second minecart over here. So I tried to make them that, you know, this one comes over here, it unloads, and by the time it finishes, the other one will kind of catch up. It's a really close call, I need to say. But so far it didn't fail, and they've been gathering a lot of crops so far. So yeah, the farm is now working. We're producing all the crops that we need. I might have to potentially disable this one. I don't know yet if it's gonna block too much. And actually, let's check the bone meal part of it. We have almost 3 stacks of bone meal, so not too bad, I guess. It's gonna just passively produce it. I'm not too concerned about that. I will have the mob farm to do this. And I'm probably going to make a moss farm as well. Yeah, so there's a fence and some stone over here, probably how I'm like breaking things on the surface and keeps things keep dropping in. But yeah, this is how it looks like. And to kind of give you guys an idea, I want to make this room with stone slabs, basically. I feel like these would look really well in the walls like this. And I didn't really think about it too much yet, but I think it's going to be something around these lines like that. Maybe. So I think I can place one over here. There we go. So it's going to be something like that, or maybe that's too sharp. Maybe I can do something like this. Yeah, maybe something like that would actually work. So I want to have this over here. So I'm basically, like, this is gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of jumping, so let me finish this. So yeah, this is what I'm kind of envisioning over here. So obviously this is gonna come off. Then I'm gonna have to do, I want to make some kind of indent to definitely add some kind of depth in the walls. Like if I'm just gonna make the walls flat, this is gonna definitely look really, really bad. So I'm gonna figure it out. How exactly do I want it? But I really like how this stone looks like. I wanted to use the regular smooth stone at first, but I feel like the regular, it's like too flat. So this, having the lines in between, kind of adds a bit more texture to the whole build, right? So I'm gonna work a bit more on this, and then once I have a finished product, I am going to bring you guys back and show you what I came up with. Are you ready? So I've been struggling a bit how to actually get this design going, and I was searching a bit online just to kind of find, you know, a bit more inspiration, and I found this. I don't know who it was just a Google picture, so there was no name or anything like that, but I found this kind of wall pattern, and then I kind of designed the ceiling based on that, and kind of like how it looks like. I don't know why, but it just has like something to it, like this kind of contrasts really nice with the stone, and then there's gonna be light behind this wall. So because of the light, I'm gonna get a bit of light over here, so I might be able to get away without putting any like big lamps on the ceiling or anything like that. And it actually gives a really, really cool effect on the wall. Like there's like a kind of a shiny effect to it. So I really, really like it. One thing that I want to make sure of is that all torches are placed on this side, so not here but there. So like that the light is always going to be reflected off the same blocks. So see, like when you look from this angle like this, I really like how it kind of just shines through. So I think once I finish this, it's gonna look really cool. The bad news is that it's really, really time consuming to actually put together. So I'm gonna work on this slowly. I definitely want to finish this in this episode, so that's going to delay the episode just slightly more, because this is probably going to take me a few hours to actually complete. But I'm excited to actually see how it's gonna look like at the end. So yeah, bear with me for a little longer. And then once I'm done with this, I'll bring you guys back, and then I'll show you how it looks like finished. And I am finally done. This is the entrance. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to actually get down there. This looks really bad. What is happening? Why are you always on me whenever I try to do something? So yeah, like this looks pretty bad that you can just see that sticking out. So I'm gonna try to come up with some kind of redstone idea to have like a hidden entrance, or at least have an entrance that works better than just an open scaffolding. But going down, so we have these holes behind here just in case I need to do any like kind of maintenance. I added a piston door over here. I feel like I'm kind of losing a bit having this pressure plate like that. Maybe I'm gonna come up with some kind of design in the corners just to kind of hide that is there, just to kind of incorporate that in it. But other than that, I'm pretty happy how it turned out. This wall is blank right now. I don't know exactly what I want to put in there. Maybe some kind of description of what items we have in this storage. I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet. Maybe some kind of pixel art. I think it's kind of small for that, but I'm gonna figure it out at one point. So I just left it pure stone. Now that I'm saying that, this is actually andesite, so I'm gonna have to fix that. And this is how it looks like. It looks really good. The sad part is that the copper didn't really oxidize much. As you can see, there's a few bits here, a few bits there, but it's definitely not a lot. And then this single torch basically covers all this area. I have an idea which I think is going to look really cool, and that is to add end rods in between these. I don't know if I would want to have them like through each or just like skip 2 lines or something like that, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get the end rods first because, you know, they don't just come out of thin air. And this is how it looks like with the storage. Since I fixed the carrot and potato farms, this has actually been producing a good bit. So I moved the wheat that we had over in the original farm, so we have over a double chest now. Then like a chest and a bit of potatoes, and then a bit over a chest of carrots. So the farm is definitely producing. This is pretty much while I was doing this, so it was, what's that, about 4 hours or so, roughly. And I think I'm going to have to figure out a better way of the whole minecart system, because unfortunately they do get bumped into each other. So whenever this one comes over, the other one is going to come along. This one is not going to be fully emptied out, and that minecart will just bounce off it and will just go further down. So it won't actually get unloaded until the next cycle. So you're going to see that in action now. See, it kicked it and then it just kind of continues to go back. So it doesn't really fully unload. So I'm going to have to either figure out a way to improve this or completely change the unloader. I could make one of those unloaders where the whole minecart breaks into a cactus or something. It falls into the hopper and then it gets redispensed. Maybe that would be something that would work. So like that, I wouldn't always have to wait for the minecart to do this. And I could actually use like as many minecarts as I need for this to happen. So I'm going to monitor this for the next while just to kind of see where we're looking at. And yeah, this is the storage system. Like hopefully until the next episode, all this copper will be oxidized, even if it's not gonna be all to the end, but at least to have that kind of green hue in here just to kind of see how it looks like, because the orange doesn't really go that well. I feel like it blends in too much. There's no proper color contrast in here. So once it gets into green, it's definitely gonna look much better than it looks right now. So I can't really do anything about it. It's just a matter of waiting. I could rip it down and then put it somewhere else so it oxidizes faster. But I guess this kind of just shows how long it takes for copper to age. And it's an actual cool idea to just look at it and see how many episodes it's going to be until it's going to be fully done. As always, thank you for tuning in. Your support means a lot. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and share your thoughts below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until next time, happy crafting!